seconds.
Guy had a headband on, and he had a credit card in the headband.
Hey, those things don't hold themselves.
That's his pocket.
I mean, it would probably be more convenient. I mean, he should come up with it, like an idea of maybe something, like some kind of material you can put like money and your credit cards in. That folds up nice and easy, so you can just put it in your pocket.
Right.
He would make a mint.
I've heard of that, but I'm trying to think of the name of that.
Yeah, it's like the pocket headband or something like that.
I don't know.
Anyway, we would like to welcome everybody to another episode of The Commute,
where I will be your driver.
And I will be your passenger. Okay, so we got a story from Texas here. Corsicana, Texas. Familiar with that at all?
No.
Well, a teenager was living undetected for almost 4 days in a 24-hour Walmart. What he was doing was he'd walk around the store, do his stuff, and he would go in every now and then and change clothes from clothes on the racks, so that he would look like a different person, so they wouldn't just see the same outfit going around. He made a fort behind one of the big shelves, like behind all the toilet paper rolls and everything. He had food and drinks back there, and he would just go and like pick up food from the supermarket area, bring it back to his little area, go back in his cubby, eat and drink. He would sleep there. He had a pillow. There's everything you need at Walmart. They said he even had a fish in a fish bowl from their pet department that he was keeping as a pet. And to avoid having to keep coming in and out if he had to go to the bathroom, he wore adult diapers the whole time.
Okay.
I guess when he did go to the bathroom, he would just clean them out.
Yeah.
But he eventually got caught because they noticed like a whole bunch of trash in this one area. I guess he was just chucking his trash in the aisle or what he was doing. That was the only thing. If he was keeping his trash in a bag and like bringing it somewhere else, in a big trash can, he could have lived there forever.
Or just going out front.
Yeah.
Dumped your trash and then go back in.
He said they didn't press any charges. Police came and they just brought him back to his family. Said, "It's your problem now." So, but he does have a history of running away, tending to hide in abandoned homes and businesses. So, that's pretty clever, though. I mean, you could pull that off 4 days in a Walmart.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of security cameras, and I guess, it just goes to show they don't look at that crap at all.
No, I've heard that they actually have, like, this is a fact, in Pennsylvania, of all the rapes that happen each year in the state, the highest percentage of them happen in Walmart parking lots.
Really?
Because Walmart has more security cameras than most stores, but they're all to make sure that their employees are not stealing from them. They have them in the break rooms, they have them on the registers, but once you leave, there's no cameras in sight.
Really?
And they said they're dimly lit.
Yeah.
And, muggers and rapists know that, so that's what we're going to get you.
Yeah, target-rich environment for muggers and rapists.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, so they didn't care about looking at the customer.
Yeah. Well, I figured there would be like something in the aisles, security cameras in the aisles for.
At least someone would see him going behind the shelves.
Yeah, I guess he would just walk around until it was clear.
Yeah. Go in.
And then go in.
It's awesome. And now he's got a good story to tell,
Yeah, I guess. I lived in a Walmart for 4 days. Absolutely nothing happened to me, even though I stole all their stuff.
Yeah. I stole an animal, food, drinks, clothes, diapers.
I guess maybe the parents paid for it all.
That could be. Yeah, he could be.
That way they didn't press charges.
From a rich family. Maybe not. But, so I was reading today that Kelloggs cereal was made to help people stop masturbating. That there was a doctor in the, I want to say it was the 20s, who worked at a psych ward. And at the time, masturbation was like, oh, you don't even talk about it, anything like that, you don't do it. And he would interview teenagers who were being held in the psych ward and question them about masturbation and ways, he was trying to find ways to stop it. Well, he would take metal thread and sew the foreskin back onto the head of the penis of these boys. Mm-hmm. He would get burning metal and he would put it on the clitoris of girls that had said they masturbated. And it was just his way of trying, how do you stop people from masturbating? I guess, forever, that would fucking do it. But then through his studies, he found that those who ate more protein than other people tend to masturbate more. He was saying that protein... Oh, that was fun. I'm never worried about going forward. I'm worried about the people behind us that won't stop.
That's all my eyes on is the fucking people behind us.
Next, if you got to gun it a little more or something.
Yep. All people, because of these people.
Yeah. See all these fucking people coming up?
It has nothing to do with anything else but these fucks cutting in.
I can't believe there's not an accident here every day.
No.
While they're doing construction. Anyway, so he figured that the more protein people were eating, the more meat people were eating, it gave them a higher sex drive. Mm-hmm. And that's why they just had to masturbate. So then he says, well, if we can give these people a healthy diet that does not include meats or, maintains their protein level, that'll stop them from masturbating. Mm-hmm. So he came up with Kellogg's Flakes cereal. Him and his brother.
Well, there was that movie. Did you ever see that? It had John Cusack and who the fuck else was in it? But it was about Kellogg.
Oh yeah? No, I never.
It was he ran a spa or something.
Oh yeah. What was that called? The health something or.
Yeah, it was.
He thought he was dying, but he wasn't.
I thought that was loosely based on
Oh yeah.
The
makes sense.
What really happened? I mean,
makes sense. But it was a decent movie.
Yeah. He was giving everybody colonics and stuff. There's that whole room of.
It's those inanimate objects you have to look out for.
Yeah, it's fucking everywhere. It wouldn't be the first time one destroyed me.
And I was also looking, because I was reading this article on odd stories of how companies came to be. It's a cocksucker.
Yeah.
And they were saying back in World War I, this company made this material they would use on wounded soldiers that absorbed blood 5 times better than any kind of cotton that they had or any kind of bandage that they had at the time. And they would use, and a lot of times it would save these soldiers' lives because it would, they had a bullet hole or something. Yeah, it would just press it up and they'd be okay. And they were just making this material. I forget the name of the material, but they were just making a hand over fist, and because they needed it, the war, especially as bloody as those wars were. But then the war ended, and they were like, "Fuck, we're going to go out of business." They were like, "What other way? What else? How do people bleed a lot that we could sell this?" Women's vaginas bleed once a month. And that's how they came out with the MaxiPad. He said, until then, this company's like, we have all this stuff, but no blood to absorb.
Right.
Oh, yeah, you do.
We need more blood.
We just need to sell it in smaller sizes, because at the time there were these huge bandages that they would put inside their shirts.
Huh. That's interesting.
But, thank God.
Makes sense. I mean,
yeah. So then they just wadded up some cotton and threw it on up there.
Or was that standard
I don't
operating
know.
procedure? Okay.
That's how the Irish did it. They didn't have money for nothing.
Yeah.
Then you wash it out and use it again.
There's a car there, you fucking dildo.
You can't go. Where is this motherfucker from? Is that
Fucking
Canada?
Ohio.
Oh, Ohio. Oh, where it says Ohio.
Yeah, right. Sort of in the center.
Yeah, there's like even has an arrow like going to the center of it. Yeah. Ohioan.
And, you know, like opposite colored letters. You know,
Well, let's see what happened in this day a long time ago.
Yeah, I've got yesterday's too, since we didn't do it. That one was one big long one, so we can just talk about that one. Yeah,
we'll do that I'll cover today's, and then this could be our last story for the day. August 14th, 2003. We have exact times. At 4:10 p.m., 21 power plants shut down within 3 minutes of each other, knocking out power to much of the eastern U.S. and parts of Canada for 2 to 24 hours in some places. I remember that. Caused by a chain reaction of events beginning with an Ohio power plant. Ohio. Where overgrown trees came in contact with power lines. New York City alone lost $500 million due to the blackout. I remember seeing pictures from space when that happened, and it was just black.
Yeah.
You know, the whole eastern side. Now,
it's like fucking North Korea in
at nighttime. No, we didn't lose it for too bad. We were just a couple hours.
Yeah, that's what I said. Most places were just a couple hours.
I think it was a work day, if I'm not mistaken. I was at work, and I was like, yes, no power. It's kind of like when there's a snow day in school, you know? Yes, power went out. Fantastic.
Jesus Christ.
Yes. Mama mia.
Fucking goodness.
August 14th, 1994. Terrorist Elic Ramirez Sanchez, a.k.a. Carlos the Jackal, is captured in Sudan by French intelligence agents. Sedated and kidnapped him due to a lack of extradition with Sudan. Responsible for numerous terrorist attacks between 73 and 92. So they weren't able to legally get him, so they kidnapped him?
Yeah, they found him, drugged him, and took him out of the country.
Holy shit. You would think, I mean, even though he's supposedly, he's a horrible person.
Yeah.
You would think there'd be some kind of law to protect him for he wasn't obtained legally. Mm-hmm. So, loophole.
Yeah, you would think with any kind of,
but I guess good like finding a jury to say, oh yeah, go ahead, you're free.
Right.
Wow, for, pretty much 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, he did all, like, his numerous, like, things that he did. It's like kidnapping people, hijacking, like, tons of people, killing tons of people. I mean, one of them, he took all these people hostage, him and, like, his team or whatever that he went in with. It was like 19 people. They killed 3 of them, and they got away, like, with $50 million or something from this. They held them ransom, like, from this company.
Wow.
Took their ransom money and got away.
Terrorism's fun.
Carlos the Jackal.
Carlos the Jackal.
A.K.A. Bruce Willis.
So is he still alive today? Did it say?
It didn't say. Like, it didn't say, like, if they imprisoned him, what they did with him. It didn't say any of that stuff.
That was in 94, so that was 20 years ago.
Yeah. So I'm sure there was, a ton more to that story, but...
Let's see, August 14th, 1784, on Kodiak Island, Grigory Shelikov found 3 Saints Bay, the first permanent Russian settlement in Alaska. March 30th, 1867, William H. Seward signed a treaty with Russia to purchase Alaska for $7.2 million.
2 cents an acre.
My God. All that oil.
But at the time, because it was so much, it was like right at the, towards the end of the Civil War and all that, they called it Seward's Folly, and, it was...
Oh, yeah?
what was the president? It was like his polar bear garden and something else. The press was just making fun of him all the time. But now it's
the mud in your eye.
Completely invaluable now. I mean,
Jesus Christ, yeah, so much land.
Yeah, 2 cents an acre at that time, and it was still 7 point whatever million.
Yeah. Wow.
Shows you how much acreage there is there.
Yeah. I'm sure I could figure that out if I had time.
Yeah.
January 3rd, 1959, Dwight D. Eisenhower admitted Alaska into the Union as the 49th state. I guess that's when they found out it had oil and stuff in it. Oh, you know what? You're a state now. Welcome to the club.
Give you a few rights. You can vote now.
You're just going to pay out the ass to get anything normal in your house, but... like, they were thrilled as shit because Taco Bell, when they were pushing those Doritos tacos, they helicoptered in like a little station to make tacos for them.
Oh yeah.
And like they went ape shit because they could get fucking Taco Bell. It's just too expensive otherwise. You know, ship all that food out there.
Yeah.
You know, it makes the idea of cheap food dumb because it's no longer cheap.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right, so let's talk about yesterday's story here. August 13th, 1521. After a 3-month siege, Hernan Cortez captures...
I was just fucking with those names.
Tenochtitlan.
Tenochtitlan.
Tenochtitlan. Yeah, I fucking love it. It's got 10 in it, 10 tits. It's fucking fantastic. It's 5
I'll never forget it.
Was founded in 1325 near the present site of Mexico City. The Aztec military strength created and held together an empire made up of individual provinces stretching as far north or far south as Nicaragua. Hernan Cortez in 1511 sailed with Diego Velázquez to conquer Cuba and was twice elected mayor of its capital city, Santiago, after the campaign. Alright, so let me piece this together here. So he captures the city.
Yeah, and then it goes into a background of who he was.
Okay. So in 1518, he was appointed Captain General of a new expedition to the American mainland. Velázquez later rescinded the order, but Cortez sailed without permission. He landed at Tabasco with 500 soldiers, 100 sailors, and 16 horses. He won over the locals and was given a female slave who acted as his translator. And a few other things, I'm sure. Cortez, how do you translate? I want to fuck you in the face.
She had a son by him too.
There, see, called it, nailed it. Cortez moved up the Mexican coast and founded Veracruz to have himself elected Captain General by the colony, removing Velázquez's authority over him. So this guy just like went in and just fucking took what he wanted and said, "I'm now the fucking leader," and
he created a colony just to be elected the Captain General so that he wouldn't have to report back to Velázquez back on
that's genius,
Cuba.
You know? Yeah, I answer to you no more.
I'll go around you.
I know how to make people like me. At Veracruz, Cortez trained his men and burned his ships to ensure loyalty. So he trained the other guys, man.
Yeah, the guys he took with him, he trained there.
Okay.
And burned his ships and just kept the colony going.
On his way to Tenochtitlan, Cortez clashed with local Indians who became his allies when they learned of his play to conquer the Aztecs.
Because they hated the Aztecs.
Holy mackerel, man.
All those separate provinces and stuff, they hated. They basically had to pay tribute. They were slaves to the Aztecs.
Okay.
Because the Aztecs were superior in military.
Right.
So they had to constantly, give human sacrifices and, a portion of everything they did back to the capital.
Sounds like a soap opera.
So when Cortez came along, they were like, sure, we'll help you out.
You got it. Montezuma
Second.
okay. tried to buy off Cortez, but on November 8th, 1519, he marched into the city with 1,000 Tlaxcaltec? Am I reading that right?
Yeah.
Tlaxcaltec warriors and his own men. Montezuma believed... Hey, I'm ringing. Alright, Montezuma believed then the envoys of the gods and cooperated fully. Velázquez sent a Spanish force to take away Cortez's command. Cortez led his new army to meet them, leaving a small force behind to govern. There's a lot to follow. I'm trying to process this as I'm reading it, and it's
so
like...
So they went in and Montezuma basically let them into the city because he thought they were basically just speakers for their god, and let him right in. You know, he didn't really put up any kind of fight. So Cortez found out that Velázquez was sending an army to take the colony of Veracruz and basically usurp him and bring him back in line. Well, he took all his soldiers that he had, including that Toltec army, and they went back to the colony of Veracruz to take it back from, Velázquez, who came over and conquered that army, and they left, just a little garrison in the town, city, to, keep things running how they had it.
So it's really like a cockfight.
Yeah.
My cock's bigger than yours. Oh yeah, well I'll show you and do this. Well, I'll show you and do that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Cortez returned to find the city in revolt after subordinates had killed several Aztec chiefs. Cortez and his men fought their way out of the capital. Montezuma was killed during the struggle. Cortez met back up with his main army and returned to lay siege to Tenochtitlan. Due to his problems with Velázquez, he was denied governorship, returned to Spain in 1540, and died in 47.
So he never.
So this went on for a long time.
Yeah, it was basically his whole life. I mean,
wow. How'd he die?
Just wherever in Spain. Yeah, just whatever natural causes. But
that's crazy. You could do that much shit for that long, and not die.
Yeah, 20-some years, and
wow,
fucking around in Central America.
Although a lot of that time is probably just traveling.
But then again, that was the beauty of Central America. You really didn't have to travel that far to make a huge impact.
That is cool. All right, well that'll do it for this historically rich episode of The Commute. Like and subscribe on YouTube and Facebook. Let's see if I can beat the toll. Follow us on Twitter at Driver Passenger. I'm going blank. At Driver Passenger. Send us an email at thecomutepodcast@comcast.net. Check out our website, 2commute.com. That's TWO commute.com. Hope to see you soon. I win.